Well, the weekend is here, so it's time for our regular family-friendly movie reviews with Bob Waliszewski. He's with Plugged In Online, the entertainment review department at Focus on the Family. Bob, let's start with The Masked Saint, a true story about a pastor. What's this one about?
Well, based on a true story. They took quite a few liberties, but it's about a man who becomes a professional wrestler, then leaves professional wrestling to become a pastor. But he's coaxed back in to wear his mask. He wore a mask in the ring when he sees a woman on the street facing a problem. So he gets involved then at night in this vigilante justice. Now, this is a faith-based film, and those who have been watching and heard me from a long time know I love faith-based film. What a great opportunity to share the gospel. But this is a film that I have to admit is not one of those at the top of my list. It just seemed to be a bit disjointed. The storytelling wasn't quite up to par, in my opinion. From a family perspective, the violence was a little bit thump, 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 a little bit tough. We gave it a 3.5, that's not a bad score, but relatively low for a faith-based film.
Okay, so this next one seems to be at the top of everyone's list. The whole world has been talking about the huge success of Star Wars, The Force Awakens. What do you like about that film?
You know, number one, it's made $1.5 billion globally, and it came out December 16th, and the number one grossing film in the U.S. of all time, which, when you say it's also family friendly, we gave it a 4 out of 5. Yes, there's violence, but it's what we've come to expect in the franchise. Some lightsaber violence and a rather large body count if you start thinking about how many people must have lost their lives on that planet that was destroyed, etc. But it's your classic good versus evil story. They didn't stray much from the template of old, and I'm glad the film is doing well.
Okay, so a number of other films came out over the Christmas holidays that we haven't had a chance to talk about. Give us your take on Daddy's Home and the more serious film, Concussion.
You know, both of these films are mixed bags for me. They both had some elements that I really like. Like, I'll start with Concussion. Following Dr. Bennett Omalu was incredibly inspiring to realize that the true story of this doctor from Nigeria, who spent his own time and his own money at great risk to his career to try to find out what was wrong with Pittsburgh Steeler, like Mike Webster. Why was he suffering with some disorientation and dizziness, and he was giving himself taser shocks? And why was he doing all this? Only to discover that it probably resulted from the concussions of playing football. And he thought when he explained it to the NFL, they'd say, wow, we're so glad to know. And instead, that's not exactly what happened. So I like the story, but some of the autopsy scenes I could have done without. They didn't leave a whole lot to the imagination. With Daddy's Home, you wonder when Will Ferrell shows up, is it going to be an elf Will Ferrell or Land of the Lost Will Ferrell? And this time it was Land of the Lost, meaning there was a lot of nasty stuff in a film that had some really good things to say about what is fatherhood. So we gave that film a mere 2. By the way, we gave Concussion a 2.5 out of 5 for family friendliness.
All right, some things to keep in mind when you head to the movies this weekend. Thanks for being with us, Bob.
You bet, Caitlin.